Were you aware that food fraud is a $50 billion industry? And that's according to the Michigan State University Food Fraud Initiative. And you're probably eating some of it right now. So from Kobe beef to Parmesan cheese, restaurants and grocery stores are packed with foods that aren't quite what they seem. Food makers and retailers cutting corners and hiking up prices can result in feeding consumers some less than truthful marketing. So we are definitely about to make a really nice smoothie. I have been juicing off and on. Today I just want a smoothie and I want to feel full, and hopefully it'll tide me over till dinner. And I don't know, I might not even have dinner, because after reading this story, you just don't know what you are getting. Now transparency is more important in the world of food than ever before. Consumers want to know exactly what they are eating. I don't know about you. Let me know in the comments. Do you want to know what you're eating? Because I certainly want to know what I am intaking. I'm about to give you 8 foods that might not be what you think they are. Okay, I'm back, fam. We about to make this smoothie. It is going to be an apple and banana smoothie. I'm adding flax seeds to it, and I'm also adding raw and unfiltered honey to it as well, and a little bit of... So this is everything that I'm using right here, minus about a cup of water. Okay, so before we get started, y'all, look at this lovely knife that I have, and I'm gonna have a link down in the description box. This knife was handmade in Japan, and it is Nakano knife. I believe I'm saying that right. It came in this packaging right here in another box, and then it has information about where it came from on here as well. Now, of course, I'm gonna wash it, but I want to show you guys how nice. Look at this knife. The quality of the handle. Look at that. That's a good grip. And the name is on there. Again, I'll leave it linked in the description. Very, very sharp. So I'm gonna give it a good wash, and we're gonna get started with this smoothie. So in order, if you wanna get this knife right here, just click the link in the description box. Use my promo code Tommy's Carolina Homestead, because that used to be my channel's name. I'm going to use, I think I'm just going to do 1 right now. And while I can just break it up, I want to see how smooth this knife cuts. I've already cleaned my fruit. Oh, wow. That wasn't difficult at all. Now, I should have peeled my apple, but because I'm using this knife, I want to see if I can do it with the knife. Normally, I would use my little scraper thing, but wow. This is cutting close to the fruit. I like it. Cut that little piece out. Nice. So I am very impressed with how this looks. Tastes good to me. So let's get back to the story concerning the fake food that's out there. It's not what you think it is, y'all. Now, while I'm only giving you 8 You need to really do your research because there are more foods out there that aren't what they seem to be. Take ketchup, for instance, which they didn't even name. Most ketchups out there have numerous ingredients. Ketchup should only have around 3 ingredients. Okay, so pay attention because they're trying to get us. First on their list is wasabi sold in the U.S. is fake. Any wasabi sold in the U.S. is fake, they said. And this is reports the Washington Post. The vast majority of wasabi consumed in America is simply a mix of horseradish, hot mustard, and green dye. And that's where they get you with that dye and that fructose corn syrup. So true wasabi is difficult to grow and extraordinarily expensive, costing $160 a kilogram at wholesale price. If you're eating real wasabi, you're consuming the stem of a plant grated and pulverized into spicy paste. It reportedly has a more complex taste but needs to be eaten immediately within 15 minutes of preparing. The freshly grated wasabi begins to lose its signature taste. Now, while I don't know anybody that can afford lobster these days, more than 1/3 of restaurants swap out their lobster for inexpensive substitutes in their dishes, but you're going to pay for that lobster price. And so a report done by Inside Edition, they ran DNA tests on lobster dishes from 28 restaurants across the country. 35% of the samples contained cheaper seafood such as whiting and something called langostino. While langostino means little lobster in Spanish, the crustacean is more similar to a hermit crab. So you're eating hermit crab. You're eating hermit crab. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Number 3 on the list is Kobe beef. While restaurants across the U.S. offer menu items like the Cheesecake Factory's Kobe burgers and pricey Kobe steaks, the vast majority of these claims are false. Only 8 restaurants in the entire U.S. serve real Kobe beef. So what exactly are people eating and paying for, and they're not getting it? So it says, since Kobe beef costs more than $20 an ounce, if you're purchasing something that is supposedly made of Kobe beef and isn't absurdly expensive, you're probably being scammed. So buyer beware. This next one on the list, I am guilty of buying because in the world of go and convenience, and when you're cooking and you're in a hurry, you're like, I don't want that extra step of grating anything. So what do? You go buy that container of Parmesan cheese for your meals. Well, you might want to think twice if you're doing that, because right now I'm thinking twice about it. So it says in February 2017, Bloomberg News tested store bought grated cheese for cellulose, revealing that all of the cheeses called 100% grated Parmesan cheese tested contained the anti-clumping additive made of wood pulp. It says while cellulose is a safe additive, an acceptable level is 2% to 4%, according to the cheese technologist Dean Sommer. Cheesemakers often mix in higher levels of the wood pulp when making cheese because it is less expensive than pure Parmesan. So I'm going to have to beware and really think twice about purchasing that, even though it's a convenience, maybe buying that whole cheese and grating it up and just putting it in the refrigerator like that. So we shall see. Next on the list is red snapper. This is not something that I would order because I already know it's expensive. But according to an expert involved in DNA species testing, 94% of the time you order fish labeled red snapper, it is actually a different fish. A rule of thumb, if the fish is expensive and you haven't seen it displayed whole, there's a good chance it's an imitation fish. And even then, it's hard to differentiate between wild caught and farm fresh. Now, this item is truly for the rich, but it is truffles. So if you're out there and you know from time to time you might want to get a little bit of truffle in your life, beware. It says real truffles are trendy, prized, and extremely rare. If it's not shaved in front of you, your truffle is likely simply a chemical combination, especially if it's marketed as truffle oil. So you might not be getting what you're paying for. And I heard that that was very expensive. Next on the list is something that we all use, and it is olive oil. So it says that fake versions of olive oil are extraordinarily common, with retailers passing off other seed oils, including soybean oil, peanut oil, and sunflower seed oil, as the real thing. Consuming fake olive oil can seriously affect your health and have health consequences, because a lot of people are allergic to certain things, such as in 1981 in Spain, where 20,000 people consumed so-called olive oil that was in fact rapeseed oil, containing a poisonous toxin called aniline. So y'all beware. Check your ingredients. It's supposed to be labeled. Hopefully it is. Also, last on the list is honey. More than 75% of, and I'm about to use, and I use honey in my smoothies all the time, but I try to use the 100%. Okay. More than 75% of the honey sold in the U.S. grocery stores contain ingredients other than pure honey. And that is according to Food Safety News. Honey is frequently watered down and cut with corn and fructose syrup to decrease the cost. They're adding sugar to it, and they're adding corn to it. That's crazy. Further, some retailers mislabel certain types of honey as a more expensive and popular type, such as Manuka honey, to hike up the prices. So y'all, they trying to get us any way they can get us. So I hope this was news you can use. Share it if you can. Hit that like button, definitely, for sure. And comment down.
I really wanted to get it right, trying to find some balance in my life. I never really put up a fight.